Warning, the following may contain modrons. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced. Having fled the village of Barovia, our heroes have made their way to a nearby Vistani camp. They have been invited inside the tent of Madame Ava, a mysterious fortune teller who prepares to tell the party their future.
She moves her hand to the card on the far left, and just before she picks it up, she looks up at you, and she looks at Kellen in particular, and she says, I do not like you. You have hurt my people. The Vistani do not forget things like this.
You have my apologies. It was done by mistake in a desperate moment, and whatever I can do to make amends with your people, I will certainly endeavor to do.
It is not me you need to make amends with. It is with the ladies that you have wronged. However, I also want there to be change in Barovia. Too long have the Vistani lived in service to Strahd. We have more freedom than the natives of the land, this is true, but still we fear him. And I sense on the threads of fate the potential for change with you 4. The Taroka cards will guide you. These cards will give you the clues about what to do to best your enemy. So she moves her hand over the first card.
Promising.
This card will tell you of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. And she flips over the first card, and on the first card you see a very detailed image of an old man. And the old man is, you can see with his white hair and long robes, and you can see with his hands a staff, and from that staff is coming just sort of swirling energies, taking up the bottom of the card, and she says, "The wizard."
Yes. Talfrin steps forward.
Not you, Master Talfrin. You must look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to that which you seek. And she leaves it at that. She moves her hand to the top card now, at the top of the cross, and she looks at you again. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope.
Yeah.
So she flips the card over again.
And it's another wizard.
It's not. This time it's another man. However, this man's bald. He's got he does have a beard, but it looks much more well groomed. And it's dark coloured. However, it's quite gaunt. He's holding a book in his hands, and on the book is a symbol that you recognise as the symbol of the Morning Lord from the church back in Barovia. And
Wait, that's a lot of bad memories, actually. A lot of negative associations for this group.
And she says, "This is the missionary."
That's not me. That's clearly not me.
Probably me.
Her vision clouds a little. It looks like she's staring off into the distance, and she says, "I see a garden dusted with snow, watched over by a scarecrow with a sackcloth grin. Look not to the garden, but to the guardian." Okay, and she sort of seems to come back into focus, and she moves her hand over to the card on the far right. And she said, this is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight.
Sounds good.
She flips the card over. Now, this card, it is a lady on this card. There's a lady maybe in her late 20s, early 30s. She looks vaguely Vistani-like. But what is most pops out about her is the fact that between her hands is a collection of stars that she almost seems to be hovering between her two hands. And Madame Eva says, "This is the conjurer. I see a dead village drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into this world." Okay, her hand moves to the card at the very bottom.
I step in and I say, "I'm sorry, Madame. That's where the Sword of Sunlight is, in this drowned village?"
That is
Lord Talfrin is taking notes.
That is what the Taroka cards are saying, yes.
Do you know of a drowned village? Maybe some sort of civil planning led to the flooding of a lake close by? Anything?
Let us finish the reading first.
Oh, we'll come back.
Please hold your questions.
Okay. So she hovers her hand over the fourth card. There's only two remaining. This is the one at the bottom of the original cross. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. And she turns the card over. And it seems to be some kind of graveyard. And
no, I don't know if we want that kind of help.
The front is a sort of an ornate. In the foreground, we've got an ornate fence, and then behind it, you just have gravestones that seem to recede into the distance. But the entire landscape of the card is choked in mists. And she says, "Yes, the mists. Ah, a stranger wanders this land, pulled from another world, much like you were, but not by Strahd. She is here, searching for her mentor. She does not like to stay in one place for long. Seek her out at St. Markovia's Abbey, near the mists." And then,
writes all this down. His pen is screeching loudly as he does all this.
If only this was being recorded. And then finally, she moves her hand to the final card in the middle of the cross, and she looks up at you again and says, "Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him." Okay, and finally, she turns the card over, and you see this hideous humanoid creature sitting on a throne. Clearly has a head, arms and legs like a person. However, the hands that are resting on the edges of the ornate throne are clawed, and this creature's head, it does have eyes and a nose and a mouth, but the nose and mouth in particular are misshapen, almost muzzle-like, and it has a collection of twisted horns growing up from its head, almost decorative, almost like a crown. And she says, "The Dark Lord, your enemy lurks in the depths of darkness, in the one place to which he must return." And she leans back, exhausted almost, and she almost shakes herself and looks up again, and she says, "Your reading is over. This is all the guidance I have to give you."
Well, that was a whole lot of help.
So, Saint Markovia is the only actual place name that we have. Would you mind? I have this map. Would you mind?
So Irina, actually, because Irina and Ismark are behind you. They've sort of been watching from the back of the tent, and she is the one who steps forward and she says, Saint Markovia, I've heard of this place. This is the abbey over at Kresik, at the far western end of the valley. That is where the abbey of Saint Markovia is.
Okay.
Can we ask? Are there any coaches that we could hire around here? It doesn't have to be a full stage coach, but just a nice little the windows, of course, and shades, and some velvet couches, and maybe a team of 4 to 6 horses. Is that?
So Madam Eva Luxon says the only coaches that travel, the only dependable coaches that travel the roads of Barovia are those belonging to the Vistani, but that is a bridge I feel that you have already burned.
What if we give them McRag? We haven't really talked about if we just give them McRag and he acted on his own.
And Madam Eva looks to Lord Talfrin and she says, I do not think that the assault was the only wrong that has been done against the Vistani this day.
Yes, there seems to be widespread, generalized social injustice here. I'm imagining population-wide biases against transient folk, general mistrust of your honorability when you camp up close to town. Well, yes, I'd assume that there's many, many, many injustices. And why focus on one? Why waste our time trying to enumerate one injustice?
Oh no, I think it's fair. It's fair.
It's like picking a thread out of a tapestry, which would only lead to ruining the artwork itself.
I think Master Suna and myself,
we are blameless. We are blameless. Pull the first thread.
I shall pull the thread.
Okay, why don't you do that outside the wagon?
I like coaches. I don't like walking. It sounds like a far piece.
Madame Eva, if I may, do you know of an individual called Jenny Greenteeth?
And she nods her head and she says, I believe Jenny often makes camp with my folk. She may well be here at the moment. I do not know. We have a number of camps around Barovia. Very often, seldom do I leave my tent now.
Do you have any like nice beds at all? Do you have any beds and nice tents?
It is growing dark and Barovia is not safe at night, but I do believe that those who you have wronged would ride through the night to try to catch you. I would not recommend staying in our camp for much longer.
All right. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so Ismark actually sort of steps forward and rests his hand on Kellen's shoulder, and he doesn't say anything, but you can feel there's a sense of urgency there. He's sort of backing up what he's just heard from Madame Eva. Kellen, you can tell that he's wanting to get out of here.
Madame Eva, one last question before we go.
Yes, but make it quick. I tire. I must get to bed.
Yes. Can you tell us more about vampires? What their weaknesses are? What we can use against them?
What do you know already?
Well, they hunger for blood. They have a disturbing pale appearance. They can be harmed by magic weapons. Strahd is one and creates others who tend to obey him more or less depending on how well acted Strahd is. I look to the rest of the group. Anything?
That's sunlight.
Sunlight, yes, the suns, yes.
Right, but that's an academic point, given the lack of... Do we know about fire? Yes, we do. I throw fireballs all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was the only
I
thing
give a demonstration. I throw a firebolt out the back door just to punctuate.
And Madame Eva, you can tell she's very weary now, and she says, yes, that would be effective against the vampires, but not so much because it is fire, but because of the magical properties of your weapon.
Yeah. I throw another one for him.
They heal quick. They heal quickly from normal wounds.
They do.
Magic certainly is one of their banes. But sunlight, if you could somehow harness sunlight.
In a sword fashion of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's a...
Follow the cards, for not only will they gift you with weapons, but knowledge, the knowledge which you seek, can be found if you follow the cards.
Because
well,
the
I'm
sword
for
of
one.
sunlight... Oh, sorry.
Hmm?
The sword of sunlight is... it was a dead village that was drowned by a river.
Right.
If I remember
Hard to
correctly,
wield a village.
this camp is by a flowing river, which presumably makes it safe, because I think there was also something about flowing water that vampires can't cross.
I
Is
believe you're right. Sorry.
Is it this river? So can we maybe, check around here?
So.
Because that would be awesome if we were just like, we go to the river, so like trip over a stone,
sword
and
of
ta-da!
sunlight.
Madam Eva, she shrugs. You can see her eyes are closing, and Ismark steps forward and he says, I have not heard of any settlements or even former settlements close to the village. I have not travelled far from the village myself in my life, but I have not heard of anything like this. Perhaps in Vallaki, when we get there, they are more central in the valley of Barovia. Perhaps somewhere there they might have knowledge of lost settlements.
How close is Vallaki to this monastery?
It is Vallaki is about half the distance between Barovia and Kresik. Really, the road on which we travel, this Phallic road, it is punctuated by the three. The village of Barovia in the east, Vallaki in the centre, and to the far west, Kresik. These are the three main settlements of the valley.
Should we head straight to Kresik, since there's nothing for us in Vallaki specifically related to our mission?
But fun,
Vallaki is
good times.
Vallaki, the walled city of Vallaki, that is where I am taking, or the walled town of Vallaki is where I shall take Irina. It is.
Will a wall stop Strahd? Really? We saw Doru go through a ceiling. Is a wall any kind of impediment? I think mobility, not staying still and becoming a target, is your best answer.
From what I have heard,
stay with us.
From what I have heard, they have been very successful in defending against the devil, considerably more successful than Barovia from the few travellers that we have had through the village. It matters not, however, because Vallaki is on the way to the monastery.
Oh,
Okay.
It sounds like a fun jaunt.
Should we try to
Madame
find
Eva?
Jenny Greenteeth first?
Yes, and you can see her eyes sort of pop open as if you've jolted her from her sleep.
I just wanted to say thank you for your hospitality, and I hope that your helping us does in no way, shape, or form reflect badly on you and your relationship with Strahd and lead to the destruction of your family camp and everything you care about. Good.
And if it does, I think we can all blame McGrag. I think that he started this with his misbehavior.
She nods at you and possibly smiles. You're not sure in the lantern light, and her head droops and she seems to nod off again on her seat.
I think we ought to ask her what Jenny Greenteeth looks like.
Well, green teeth.
I think probably we can figure that out. Anyone who has green teeth would be a contender.
You can hear from outside now that Madame Eva stopped speaking, and she's sort of gently dozing. You can hear the music from outside again. If you recall, there were quite a few Vistani partying basically around a campfire, and they had invited you to join them at one point. So they were drinking and dancing away, and from what you can tell,
where there's dancing, there needs to be music. Finally, I shall have an excuse for an audience for my concertina.
I'll inspect their teeth while you play.
Just one by one.
Yes.
I turn to my companions gravely, my monocle flashing in the dull caravan light. I say, remember, we cannot dally. There's an irrationally irate group of Vistani coming this way, and we should attempt to be gone by the time they arrive.
All right. So can we at least grab some mutton on the way out? I mean, like, I'm hungry. I'm famished.
Maybe we could have like a short rest here.
Yes, a short rest and a little song.
Well, short rest.
So
I guess I say, Madame Eva, one last question. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Wake up again.
I use prestidigitation just to give a little spark when I touch her, to wake her up all the way.
Yeah.
Leave the poor woman alone. Musthofen. We're not going to...
Our party's motto should be, leave no Vistani unmolested.
Interesting. So are we heading back outside?
Yes, we're looking for a short rest, somewhere to wet our whistles and put up our feet and sing our merry tunes.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Well, the Madame Eva's tent was at the edge of the river. If you recall, there was just a ring of caravans, just 4 caravans, and the campfire is in the middle of that. There's about 12 Vistani there. There's a wee accordion playing off to the side. They're drinking. A few people are singing. A couple of people are dancing at the campfire. And when they see you, a few of them give a bit of a cheer and wave in your direction to call you over to join them.
Let's do it.
No, let's do it. Yeah, let's go.
I want to can I cast a small spell? I want to do a minor illusion. Take off about 20 pounds from the front, about 12 years from the face, and thicker hair, and no blemishes on the skin. And there we go. Snap! I am lovely.
Are you still Madame Rousseau?
Oh, I took that off a moment ago. No, I'm a handsome man, and you're all attracted to me.
Okay, so my minor illusion only lasts for a minute. Okay,
I need to find someone to dance with right now.
Did you just gain 20 pounds?
Oh God!
At age 12 years?
It's the campfire light. It does not flatter.
You're the only one here who doesn't.
So you could do that if you wish, but it does only last for 1 minute.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Miserable magic. What's it good for?
Okay. So, guys, are we just trying to have a wee rest? Is that right, around the campfire?
Yes.
Fine, Jenny.
Head to the campfire. Maybe talk. Strike up a conversation.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they were quite talkative last time, and it was the same again. They're happy for you just to sit and you can listen in on what they're saying. A couple of them nudge you and go, "Well, how did it go with Madame Eva?"
Great.
She said that you should give us all of your money. No, that's probably not going to go over well. It went fine. It went well.
Lord Talfrin, one of them nudges you and says, "Any nice women in your future? Did she tell you about any lucky girl? Maybe lucky boy? I don't know."
Jenny Greenteeth?
I look them right in the eyes and say, "No."
Oh, all right. Okay. And he turns to look at somebody else.
I continue to stare at him for an extra 5 or 10 seconds.
Okay.
He's not good at making friends, is he? He's not.
Lord Talfrin stands up, claps his hands loudly for everyone's attention.
Oh God!
He points at the musicians and says, "Silence that noise."
No.
Okay. They everyone does stop. And you, it's a bit of deja vu when you get this growing sense of animosity directed at you, Lord Talfrin.
Jean Malame goes, "Boo!" Just to see if he'll catch on. No takers.
I throw
possibly some.
I throw a little firebolt. Jean's way. It's a little one. And I say, "Dear Vistani, my friends and I feel it appropriate to thank you for your gracious hospitality. However, we must soon be on our way. Before we go, we would like to speak with someone who goes by the name of Jenny Greenteeth. Now, we did not come up with that name. It was apparently hers to begin with. So please don't take offense. Is she here?"
So you can see, a look of recognition. One of the Lady Vistani, she goes, where is that old bag anyway? She's often in the trees close to the camp. She's here somewhere. Have a look over there. And she motions off to the west. Yes, she's a crazy old hag.
Like a monkey in the trees?
If you look off to the west, you can actually notice now the sun is setting at the moment. We're definitely losing daylight. There is a couple of trees over to the west. Beneath one of them, you can see a large backpack with lots of pots and pans, dangling from it, a bedroll fastened to the top with a length of rope.
Okay, let's go there.
You may resume making your music and dancing. If that is what you wish to do with your spare time. I am going to go speak with Jenny Greenteeth. Thank you, Vistani people. And I turn and start stomping my way over to the backpack.
Okay. Are the rest of you guys coming?
No, I'm not. These are my
the party's
people.
Coming with me.
I at least have to have one drink.
Yeah, I'm going to stay by the campfire with my concertina, and this. I think she's kind of got a shine to me. I think. Hello.
So the lady with the accordion, she sort of looks at you and raises her eyebrow and goes back to playing. Not too sure how she how to
I'm in. That. Oh, give me 15 minutes.
All right. So let's figure out who's going with Lord Talfin.
I will.
Okay. And Kevin, what are you up to?
I'm gonna just sit and make sure Madame Rousseau doesn't get killed.
Okay.
It's Mr. Rousseau. No, it's Jean Mallarmé now. Okay. Don't embarrass me in front of the ladies.
So we'll come back to the campfire. Lord Talfrin and Master Sunna, you guys make your way over to the backpack. It becomes very clear to you that there's someone in the trees above it.
Are we talking like a simian or...
Well, as you get closer, you can see that it's... no, it's just a normal humanoid. Actually, if you get all the way... maybe sort of 10 foot away from the bottom of the tree, you can actually make out, it seems to be like an old lady climbing around in the tree. There's certainly long...
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, sort of long greying hair, just wearing a sort of a brown, almost dirty brown sort of smock that she's wearing, and just seems to be jumping about around the treetops. She doesn't seem to have noticed you.
What? She's leaping from branch to branch?
Pretty much, yeah. Every so often you can hear her grunt, and she seems to be talking to herself a little bit.
Well, I cast light on a pebble, and I hold it up so she can clearly see us.
Okay, and the rustling in the trees stops. And you can see a head sort of pokes out from the branches. It stares right at you. Now this head this face is the epitome of a hag's face. She's got this sort of massive, almost hooked nose. She's got sort of warts on her face, like massive saucer-like eyes. Her teeth there are not many of them, quite yellowy. Not green, unfortunately. And she just looks at you and she says, "Oh, 1 second, I'll be right there."
I touch Master Sunna's elbow and I say, "Perhaps I should speak with her. I have what is called the common touch."
So
maybe your charm is greater than mine.
So the trees rustle, and you hear a branch snap, and she goes, "No, oh no!" And with a thud, Jenny Greenteeth falls from the trees and lands beside her backpack. Oh, bother! And she picks herself up and she's holding her left arm, which is clearly broken. At an awkward angle, and she's just sort of lying there with her legs splayed open, looking at her arm.
Madame, you seem to have broken your arm.
Do you require assistance?
Oh, just one moment, please. 1 moment. So she rustles around in her backpack. Bother, where'd it go, bother? And she picks up a small vial, and she uncorks it, and she takes a swig. You can see sort of all the blue liquid sort of falling from her or dripping from her chin, and she bats at it with her fingers, gets the blue liquid on her fingers, and licks the liquid off her fingers. She goes, "One moment, please, one moment." And there's a bit of a popping sound, and her arm sort of straightens. She gives a yelp of pain, and she looks at the bottle. She tips it up. She realizes there's nothing left in it. She goes, "Oh, keep eating my profits like that. Oh no! Right, what can I do for you?"
Sell us some of that potion.
Lord Tuffin. Oh, go ahead.
No, this potion here it's a bit done now, I'm afraid. I've just drunk the last off it. I can't help myself.
Oh, do you know the recipe?
Oh no, I'm afraid I'm not that good. I just pick it up and sell it.
Where do you pick it up?
Oh, I've got my ways. And she sort of bats at her nose a wee bit, and it springs back into place.
So you couldn't draw me an X where this shop for this magical potion is?
Oh, not in Barovia. They don't have potions like this in Barovia. That's why I take them here, so I can sell them to people.
Vallaki, maybe?
No, not the village of Barovia, silly. I'm talking about the land of Barovia. You can't get healing potions in Barovia. Except from Jenny Greenteeth. That's why I'm here. To sell people lots of stuff they can't normally get here.
But then where do you get them? If they're not here, do you get them from... Have you heard of the travelers that sometimes come into this land who do not originate from Barovia?
Yes. I've met a few of them. You look like you could be the sort.
Well, maybe. Do you think that maybe they bring those healing potions with them?
They might do if they're smart, but normally those kind of people don't get the chance to take their belongings when they're grabbed here. Oh, there's a few of us, though. We still are able to make our ways through the mists. That's what I do, working my way from worlds to worlds, selling my wares.
So there's a way through the mists?
Well, not for the likes of you, darling, I'm afraid. But some of us can, the Vistani. And old Jenny Greenteeth.
I am fascinated by this because I am a map maker. So,
all right. I never was good at reading myself.
Secret, maybe.
Or climbing trees, for that matter. You'd think I'd be good at it with the practice that I've had.
You have many years of practice?
Oh, yes. Many, many years.
Because you look very good for your age.
You liar. I'm an old hag. That's kind of you to say so.
I was going for flattering.
All right, I've heard of that.
Jenny, would you be so kind to answer us some questions? We are indeed, most of us, far travellers from faraway places.
Oh, yes.
And we're looking for some answers, and no one really can give us any concrete details.
I'm not very good at answers, but I'll do my best. All I do is sell potions.
So you do sell potions?
Why? Not this one. I just drank this one, but I've got a few more like it in my bag.
Like what?
Healing potions, mostly.
For how much?
Oh, what have you got for me, darling?
A lot.
Good, because that's exactly what I'm looking.
Remember, I should never go take you by a car. Like, you never show up and say, "I have a lot of money.
Rich.
I'm rich."
But wait, there's a problem. Like, I have a lot of my own currency, but unfortunately, we don't have too much gold and silver in Barovian currency.
It's all right. I travel from place to place. If you just give me 500 gold pieces, I could part with one of my healing potions.
Talfrin like chokes and coughs.
This is unfortunately we do not have this kind of money.
All right. Well, then I'm afraid I don't think we're doing business.
Is there something else we could do for you? Maybe we could trade.
Why? What have you got that you think I would need if you don't have 500 gold pieces for a potion?
Well, we're a band of intrepid adventurers.
All right. What have you done then?
We've done lots already.
It's quite
and
exciting.
We have many and various talents and skills.
Right.
So perhaps you need something done, and you can't do it yourself. And
Not
we
really.
would like to assist you.
No, I'm fine, thanks. I'll just take the money if that's all right. You'd be
I'd love to give it
surprised
to you.
how well gold travels.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Yeah.
Especially when you've cornered the market like I have here in Barovia.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get a killing. I can tell you that, dearie. If you're ever able to walk through worlds, this is a pretty good way of making some money.
I remember that. And, more power to you.
Yep. And she dings her nose again.
Lord Alpha
anyway,
wants to ask you lots of questions.
No, it's getting late, and I think I'm going to cuddle up to the campfire here, so none of the monsters from the woods are going to get me. Are you sticking around, or are you going to be traveling? You did say you were adventurers.
We're trying to get to Villaki.
Why, yes, yep, I'll be there myself soon.
Oh, okay, well, maybe if we save enough money, then we will get that healing potion.
All right. You know my prices, darling.
Do you have anything else other than potions?
Why? What else are you looking for?
Magic weapons.
Oh, no, don't have many of them, I'm afraid. But if you're in the market for them, I could keep my eyes open. If we meet again, I might have something for you.
Please do.
I will. I hope you're going to have lots of money for me, though.
Mm-hmm.
Quite expensive things, magic weapons, I hear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Do you need any other information, Lord Tarfrin? Is anything you wanted to know from Jenny?
No.
I think we've got everything we need.
Excellent. I don't think you've got anything, darling, but I don't think...
Well, we have information, lots of information.
All right, good. Right, I'll be on my way back to the campfire then.
Crit-Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit-Faced fan group.